Okay, we are back with some CarX action. Now, last time, I did say we would get some EG6 action in, so that is what we shall be starting with. However, I would like to get to some of my other builds, such as my 400Z. That would be a really nice one to get into, because it has the 1LR from the LFA, and I know absolutely everybody would enjoy that. I don't know of anybody who dislikes the 1LR engine. If you do dislike it, that's cool, I guess. nothing really wrong with disliking the engine, but I haven't heard anybody who dislikes the 1LR because its sound is extremely unique and quite harmonic. They updated that. Frame rates are not the best at this moment. They still haven't fixed that bug. I don't know if you guys noticed that. Every now and again, the audio cuts out for just a moment. The engine audio. Only the engine audio. I don't know how the devs managed to fuck that up, but they did. So the engine audio is flippy. Why are we lagging so extremely badly compared to the last time we were on? This is horrendous. There's pull-off spots up here on the right that I'm going to pull off into. And we will restart the game, pause recording, restart the game, and hopefully that will bring back our game stability. I don't know if it's because I started recording right after opening the game, or what, but yeah, for some reason it's not stable. We will be back in a moment. Okay. Hopefully, this is better. See, right there was the audio cut I was talking about. I have chords being problematic. Feels like we've smoothed up a lot more. Maybe not perfect, but a hell of a lot better than it was. What the fuck are you doing? That is not a legal U-turn. What the fuck? Devs, did you program that? That is wild. The fuck did I just witness? An AI doing an illegal U-turn. You hardly even see that in GTA. And devs, for the love of God, stop making these event point collectibles fucking obnoxiously annoying. Well, I guess it does kill all game audio. It quieted down that thing for a split second. And I don't know what the fuck it's cheering, but it's annoying as shit. And god damn it, it's all over the map, like. And then every time you drive into one, it activates nitrous. Why can I not have control over my own nitrous? You know? Ooh, scary. It feels like our frame rate got reduced doing that. Just that one slide. Like, I don't know what's going on. I'm not happy about it. I'm just as displeased as you guys are. Because this looks terrible. And it feels terrible. CarX devs, what the fuck did you do? Like, how do you guys keep screwing shit up this bad? Last time they took away split pedals. Like, it seems that every time they fix a mistake, they make 2 times more mistakes. Like, what the fuck? Come on, devs, get it together. Because the frame rate should not be spotty. That shit shouldn't be loading in like that last minute. What the fuck? And it was not that far away. You see that mountain in front of us? That's far away. You see that fucking glowing-ass steering wheel? That's almost Ferris wheel, sorry. That's almost as bright as the fucking sun sometimes when you're far away. That's far away. Or it was. And it's still, like, even at low speeds, you can feel the delay. Oh my god, this is terrible. How am I supposed to record this? I'm going to upload this, but the fuck am I supposed to... How do I get around this bullshit? I hate these devs. I fucking hate them. I'll be dead honest about that. I absolutely hate the dev team behind CarX because they all have their heads up their ass. Like, none of them think. None of them put in any actual work. They half-ass fucking everything. See this headlight button? You can't move it, and it's small as fuck to the point that sometimes you accidentally turn on traction control. You see this mirror button? Same fucking problem. But you can move every other button. See the speedometer in the top left? Top right, sorry? You can't remove that, that's there forever. See the map in the top left? You can't remove that, that's there forever. I would remove all of that shit if I could. I have a fucking dashboard. Every car in this game has a fucking dashboard. I should have the option to remove my minimap and my tachometer gauges. And fuck it, I should have the option to fucking turn off my even money being shown in there. I should be able to get a fully immersive experience. But the devs have their heads so far up their ass that they don't want to make that happen. They don't even think about making that happen. But you go play any other open world driving game of this type of quality, of high quality graphic and physics, and you have those options in almost every other driving game that's of high quality. You have those options. Not with CarX, the devs don't give a fuck. The devs give a fuck about what goes into the premium. The devs give a fuck about who buys the premium fucking Street Pass. For the longest time, Street Pass did not exist. And they added it not for the sake of immersion to the game, for the sake of they get money every single time somebody buys this pass. $12 Canadian. Every single time. Sometimes the pass is a little bit cheaper. I've seen it, I think I've seen it at $8. Still. Imagine how many people buy that per each event. It's cash flow. And then you look at the premium cars. Do you know why the Lotus is not buyable? It's only buyable through premium. Did you know that? It's only buyable through premium. The the second generation Viper is only buyable through premium or the event pass. You can't get it by grinding the game. You can't get it if you don't have funds. Same for the Audi R8. You cannot get this without attaining it either from this premium menu or from the event street pass. And devs, another thing, why is it that when you buy a car from this premium menu, you are no longer able to see it ever again? Never ever. Ever. Like, do you know why the Porsche 992 GT3 RS doesn't pop up in my premium list? It's because I had a friend purchase it for me a long, long time ago. Same for the McLaren 720S. That's why they don't show up in this list. Because I've already owned them through the premium purchase in the past. So you won't see them. Audi RS7 can only get through premium and event pass. And again, I don't know if any of these specific cars that you can only get from premium are modeled into the event pass. I know some of them that are modeled into the event pass, but I have never seen the R8, the RS7, the Hot Rod, the Yaris, or any of the other, or Lotus, or any of the other strictly non-viable cars like the F1, GNX. Those are new, mind you. They're all fairly new. The R8 is the old one. The R8, RS7, and Lotus would be the oldest of the three that I've listed that are non-viables. Actually, the Viper. The Viper and R8 are the two oldest. And you can only get them from the premium. They're not in... I can go through just to show. They're not in the rest of the dealership. You have to pay for them with real money. Why? Because the devs want your money. That's what they care about. They don't actually care about the game doing well or the player-based community. They can claim that they care all they want, but it is visually evident that they don't. Because if they did, they wouldn't make it impossible for people who have lack of funds to attain certain cars. Because that's fucked up. That's really fucked up. There is some poor guy out there that cannot afford these really nice cars that would most likely spend all fucking day grinding for it, playing the game, actually investing time and playing the fucking game to get it. But no, they don't let you have that. They make it so that that poor guy can't grind that car. He has to pay them. That's what they want. They want our money. It's unfortunate, but it's the reality of a lot of these game creators. Even these good quality games, like CarX is a very high quality game. But the creators are very money thirsty. And that's just the way it is. It's unfortunate. It's sad because the game doesn't get the love that it should get. It gets the love that's needed for people to pay money. That's what it gets. It doesn't get the refinement work of fixing the audio, fixing the lagging connections, or fixing problems, or adding analog/slider gas or brake, the ability to turn off steering assist. They don't give us that things because they don't care about us. They care about us paying, not us, just us paying. So, in other words, they care about the money. And it's visually evident. Because if they didn't care about the money, why is there cars that you can only get from buying them from the premium pass? And why is it that those cars in specific are highly priced? 23. Okay. R8, where's R8? 24. Actually, that's 25. And that's 24. Oh, G-Wagon. 24. This is all Canadian, by the way. The Unicorn, 35. RS7, 22. The Hot Rod, 14. Probably because it's less desirable. Yaris, 18. Lotus, 19. F1, 28. Which, by the way, why is the Unicorn 35 if a fucking McLaren F1 is 28? You don't have any sense of logic in your brain at all, CarX devs. There's no logic to that. Everybody on this fucking planet knows that this car is more valuable than the Unicorn. I don't give a fuck if the Unicorn was a one-of-one build. I don't give a fuck if it was driven by Ken Block. It does not increase the car's value. Or, sure, it might, to an extent. Not more than a fucking McLaren F1. It's very, very common sense that a McLaren F1 is much more expensive than a Unicorn. Because anybody, absolutely anybody, can build a Unicorn with less than $1 million. This car costs well over $1 million. And you want to argue that any way you want, I don't care. It's a base fact. You can build a Unicorn with less than $1 million. It's fabricated work. It's all fabricated work. And if you have $1 million, you can build damn near anything off of fabricated work. So, that's my rant on that. And then this is $14. All non-buyable from in-game currency. You are not able to earn those cars. You have to pay them. You either have to pay them from the premium section or in the Street Pass, because they won't come around as free cars for the Street Pass. My Aventador, I bought it from the Street Pass. It cost me either $8 or $12. One of the two. I don't remember what the price of that Street Pass was. But it cost me at most $12. So my Aventador, I got done up just like the premium one is for probably half the price. Maybe like a third the price, more like. Probably just under a third of the price. Mine came in red, and it had a body kit on it. It wasn't done up exactly like this one. But I don't want it done up like that. I think the way they do it, honestly, I think the way the developers do up these premium cars, I think they do horrible jobs. I think they just slap shit together and call it a day, if I'm being honest with you. That's what it looks like. It looks like complete garbage. The RS7 looks decent. But the RS7 has, like, an Audi-based livery. Of course it looks decent. When you copy something or fabricate something of another to be your own, such as the design that's on the Audi RS7, is a common design seen on, I believe, the Audi Quattro S1. And then they also have the red, white, and black design. If you're an Audi person, you know the designs I'm talking about. Get over to the RS7 right here. This is definitely an Audi-based design. Very Audi-like. And it looks decent. But it could have been done much better. Very, very much so. It could have been done much better. If you were to look into real-world Audi designs and liveries that are on motorsport Audis, motorsport performance Audi vehicles, you'll find designs of similarity to this. Definitely not the exact, but of similarity. It's off the same basis of the fucking white and yellow whatever else. I'm not an Audi specialist. I just know that I know that they do have a livery that is very similar to that base ideology that they did on the RS7. But again, you have to pay for all of that. You have to pay to get that car one way or another. You cannot earn it. You cannot earn it. And that's pretty fucking sad. I like to earn my shit. I like to actually earn it. If I can earn it, I like to actually work for it and earn it. Because then I can be proud of it. Because then I can say, I worked for that, I built that, I made that, that's mine. Even if it is in a video game, I don't care. I still earned it. I still built it into whatever I wanted to build it into. So I can still take pride in it. Because it's still 100% my work. Even the acclamation towards getting the car is my work. And that's something that almost any gamer would be able to take pride in. Because you earned it. That's the entire fucking point, is that you earned it. The entire point of playing a game is to earn the upgrades and benefits and new things that come in that game. The whole basis of playing the game is to earn better things in the game. So now I pose the question, what do you do when you've earned all of those free cars and all of those gold cars? Now you're just stuck, forced with no option but to purchase. And you know what? You'll purchase those cars and you'll probably drive them less than you would the cars you earned. Why? Because you won't be able to have pride in them. Even if you build it. I don't have nearly as much pride in my Aventador as I do this EG6 Civic. That's right, I have more pride in my fucking Honda Civic than I do my Lamborghini Aventador. Why? Because I earned it. I built it. I worked for that. My Aventador, I had no other option but to pay for it. And then I worked on it. But I didn't earn the car itself. I paid for it. I earned this EG6, and I built it from the fucking ground up. I paid for that Lamborghini, and it came with a body kit on it, and it came with engine modifications, and it came with all this shit added to it. Whereas I earned and built this Civic from ground up. Right? And that's the difference. And that's a big difference, a real big difference. And I'm sure a lot of you who were listening to this just had the realization that buying paid cars is not worth it. Because what's the point? There's no actual pride in attaining the vehicle. There's happiness because you have the vehicle, joy from driving the vehicle and potentially building the vehicle, but there's no pride able to be taken in the attainment of the vehicle. No matter what, at the end of the day, you still bought that car. You didn't earn it. I don't care how you put it. You could have earned the money that you paid for with it, but you still paid for the car. You didn't earn it. That earning it and paying for it are two different things. Because even if you work your ass off for every cent you have, you're still paying for the car. You're not actually working for it. You're working for the money to trade for the car. So, yeah, there is an extent of pride you can take in having worked for the money to get the car, but you'll never be able to say you earned the car. You bought it. It was a purchase you made. That's the reality. It was a purchase you made. So you can't actually take pride in it. You can only take pride in the fact that you earned the money to purchase it and the things you've done to it. Other than that, there's no pride in the actual attainment of the vehicle. It's sad. Very sad when you think about it. Because you should be able to have pride in every vehicle you own, whether it's a Lamborghini or whether it's a Honda Civic. It shouldn't matter. But unfortunately, we don't get a choice. They don't give us a choice. I would love to earn that Lotus and build it stock from the ground up. If I ever do get that Lotus, do you know what I'll do? I will completely reset the car to factory because I hate working off of other people's work. Because 95% of the time, other people's work is a shit job. Other people don't study the physics. They make it look nice. They make it sound nice. They aim for the chart numbers. They aim for whatever they can aim for to make it sound like a good deal. Make it look like a good deal. But then it's almost never actually a good deal. So there's an extent to it of whether or not it's worth actually having pride in your vehicle or not because of how you attain the vehicle. Now, I have nothing against having a premium section for paid cars. That's 100% fine. My problem is when you put cars into that section that can only be attained from that section. And the event. When you make it so that the only way you can get it is to pay for it. That's what bothers me, because then you've taken away the ability to earn it. And that's not a player choice. That's just the devs saying, no, you're not allowed to have this. If you want this, buy it. And then I can't take pride in attaining it because I didn't earn it. I earned the money I traded for it. That's two different things. Earning the money you traded for it and earning it are two different things. If I earned it, I grinded it out in here and put my time in here to get it. If I traded my money for it, wherever I put my time to get that money is what I'm trading for it. And so I can take pride in whatever I did to get that money, but I can't, that's not related to the game, right? So that's an exterior party giving you an assist. In reality, it's your outside funding adding into the game to give you something that you wanted. Yeah, it shouldn't be a thing where you have to pay in order to get a car. It shouldn't be. But unfortunately, the devs don't care about the player's feelings or the player's well-being. They care about making money. That's why everything's priced almost at $20. Because if they sell 5 of those in one day, that's $100. When you think about that, how many people are playing the game? Guaranteed over 1,000. Okay, so when you look at all of the options in the premium shop and then the street pass, they're making more than 1,000 easily a day. Like, they can make money out the ass with the way they have things set up. Because people will buy it because they don't want to work for it. That's fine. That's cool. I don't mind that. It's cool to have that option to be able to pay to have it if you're that type of person that doesn't want to put in the time to grind for it. That's fair. But to restrict the vehicle to only being paid for, that's fucked up. Because now you've taken away the ability for any poor person to attain that car. Now, to that, what the fuck did that poor person do to you that you have to single them out and make sure that only people with money can have that car? What on the fucking green earth did anybody do to you to make you say, you know what, poor people can't have this? Or not even poor people. People who don't have a little bit of money on the side to invest into a video game can't have this. Like, what the fuck? That is so fucked up, it's not even funny. I can't even imagine how many people out there open the premiums and go, well, I can't earn that, I can't earn that, I can't earn that, because of how many shit fucking cars are in there that cannot be earned without being paid for. And it literally just goes, oh, I'm not getting that. I'm not getting that. I'm not getting that. Because they can't. They don't have the option to. They can work their fucking ass off and have nothing on the side. They can be breaking their backs working every day and still end up just simply not having enough money on the side to be putting it into a video game. Because not everybody has funds lying around to put into a video game. So the fact that there is certain things you can only get by purchase is really fucked up. Another fucked up part. This racetrack and this Togue, I paid for. I paid for that Togue. When this Togue was first released, it was released as an expansion, and you had to pay to unlock it. And then eventually they added a level requirement to it, where once you hit a certain level, it unlocked for free. And then the racetrack, I don't remember, I don't think it was paid, but it might have been, I can't remember fully. I know for sure, the Togue, I paid for. I bought that bitch. Because I absolutely was sick of just running the city and the highways. So when they first added the Togue, it was, I happened to have a bit of money on the side, and it was just something I really wanted, because it was a nice environment, because I like the Togue environment. But yeah, you had to pay for it originally. Now you don't have to pay for it at all, which I think is fucked up, because why is it that I had to pay for it but nobody else did? What, just because you guys hadn't finished working on it yet? Like, what's the deal with that? Early release bullshit? There was maybe a month in between the two. Like, that's not early release. Like, the people who paid for it, like me, got ripped off big time. I don't remember how much I paid. It was long, long ago. But yeah, it is absolutely absurd how many cars are in here that cannot be attained without buying. Now, I'm hoping that after our little spiel through the dealership, our connection has come back enough for us to check out that new highway. It feels smooth for now, but you never know when that could drop off. And man, would it be nice to be able to turn off steering assist? Just because the devs, just because you need a steering assist doesn't mean everybody else does. I think forcing things on people is fucked up. Because why? Like, can we not have a choice? Are we not allowed to have a choice? Is that too much to fucking ask? To have an opinion? To have a personal preference? It sure seems like that's too much to ask, or that they think it is. I don't know, I feel like the devs everywhere are slacking off. I feel like all of them are just fucking putting in half-assed shit. Like, GTA 6, for instance, should have been out so long ago. But, you know why it's not? It's because they've been slacking off. It's got absolutely nothing to do with needing more time for development. It's got everything to do with them just not putting in the same amounts of work they used to. You take a look at Skyrim. That was an absolutely amazing, wonderful game when it first came out, and it still is an amazing, wonderful game to this day. get me when we're fucking hardly even doing 70. If that. They did really good on graphics and modeling this in, because they want to make things look nice. Because who's going to play the game if it doesn't look nice? So, that's what creators do. They make things look nice. They make things sound nice. They make things seem nice. And they put in as little work as possible to make that happen. Because why work any harder than you need to in order to attract crowds? They're gonna get paid, because people are gonna play the game, people are gonna buy their cars. The RS7, like I mentioned, could be so much better with its paint job. But do you know why it isn't? Because it doesn't need to be. People will buy it anyways. So why are they going to put in any more work than they need to? They're not. And that's exactly how shit is. And it's really fucked up, because the reality is they should be going all out on it. They should always be giving their best efforts. Instead, they give the efforts that are needed to get by. Because that's all they care about. They care about getting by. They care about getting paid. And so long as they're getting paid, they're happy with that. This is a much more straight highway than any of the other highways we have. And I actually really like it. I like how smooth it is. And I somewhat do like the traffic flow. Okay, so these lanes are tight, that you can't do that. On our other highways, you can pass on the left in between the car and the railing, but these lanes are too tight for that. Damn it. I wasn't paying attention. Which is why you should always be paying attention. It's a really good thing to practice too. Talking and driving. Because, Jesus. Oh, and that loops back around, okay. Because it gives you a good practice for if you're ever driving in real world and you have passengers that you're having a conversation with, you can have a conversation with them while keeping your eyes on the road. It's a really good thing to practice, without, especially for people like me with ADHD who can get distracted easily. Helps you get a good practice for talking without losing focus of what's in front of you, or where you're going, or what you're doing. God, those things are so obnoxiously loud. I would fucking make all of that shit silent if I could. I would turn those off completely. I don't give a fuck about them. Why do I have to hear them? I didn't sign any petition saying I was going to take part in this bullshit. I play the game because I like the base game. I enjoy the free roam driving. That's why I don't do clubs. I'm in the Black Lotus Club with my Huracan solely for the fact that it pays me, and I have no attachment to my Huracan. So what I did was I entered my Huracan into that club before pulling the motor, and then I pulled the motor and reinstalled the new one. I was supposed to go back right and go back onto that highway. Oops. So I pulled the motor, reinstalled the new one, and left the new one just base stuck. Because I'm going to be selling new cars. When? I don't know, whenever I want to. Whenever I feel like it. I don't drive it, just sits there. Whenever I need space. When I need space and I have to sell something to clear space, that's what'll go. My Huracan. I did a Huracan STO for a friend. And I did a real fucking good job on it too. My Huracan wasn't as powerful, but it had a hell of a lot nicer handling than the STO that I did for the friend I had so many years ago. I've worked on all kinds of shit. I've had all kinds of shit too in here. We'll get a lap in on the track. Yeah, we have enough fuel. We have enough fuel for a lap. 80-liter tank. We could do 2 laps off a full tank, 1 lap off half tank. And there again is the audio cut I've been talking about. It's probably happened many more times than just that one I just announced. I haven't been out on this track in months, so bear with me if I'm not the best. I wish we had a control layout like CPM has, where we can do actual stick shift manual with clutch and everything, and the analog sliders for gas and brake, instead of just the split pedal. Like, it would be so much better with just that adjustment, and then remove steering assist. Or give us the ability to turn it off. I don't think that's too much to ask, to have the ability to turn off an assistant. Because it's an assistant that only some people need. And many people, like myself, do better without one. Or, well, yes. To an extent. I don't mind a light steering assist, but one like this is heavily corrective on many movements that it doesn't need to be heavily corrective on. I don't know how they have the system for that programmed, but it's really fucked up, I know that. Really fucked up, because drifting is a bitch. In any rear-wheel drive, drifting is a bitch. Or at least it was the last time I tried it. The steering assist is super jerky, like it's indecisive. It doesn't know how much countersteer to give, so it gives a lot of countersteer, and then it reduces, and then it adds, and then it reduces, and then it adds, like it's always unsure of how much countersteer is needed. So your drift is literally like a fucking squiggly line. I know, it sounds horrible, doesn't it? Because it was. I don't know if it's still that way. I will find out on the jump drift part. I'll put it in hard. But it does feel a little different. I don't know exactly how. From the last time that I actually properly drove in this game, the steering assist does feel a little bit different. And I would turn it off if I could, but I can't. And what would be better than turning it off would be to have a percentage. I did not think I was going that wide. But like, if you look at Apex has like all of the settings there for you to specifically dial in to the exact feel that you want, which I think is absolutely awesome, because it allows every player to set up to how they like the feel. And that is immersion, because it allows everybody to play the game and to play at their fullest with the control layout that they prefer. However, Apex has the same thing as this, where we don't have that manual stick shift that we get in CPM. We can't do that full manual with clutch and stick shift. CPM is really, really good at that with the manual stick shift and clutch and everything. They do have that down really well. Very much so, I will say. Audio bug again. See, it fucking so fucking blippy with that rear view mirror because of how small it is. I wasn't moving my finger. I hit that with my index finger, and I didn't move my finger at all. But you saw just how many times it flipped between facing forwards and facing backwards. That's how pathetic they set up that rearview mirror button. That if you're not exactly on point, even just a millimeter off, and it starts fucking up. No, the steering assist has been changed. If I had done that with the old steering assist, it would have snapped so hard to the right that it would have put us in the wall. And I'm speaking from personal experience in this car, on this track, at that exact spot. Happened many times. I tried many, many times to work around it, and the only conclusion I found was that you literally could not countersteer. You had to hit that line with minimal angle, as little angle as possible, to avoid the steering assist fighting you and over countersteering, because that's what it used to do all the time. It would always over countersteer, and then it would change into under countersteer, and then it would go back into over countersteer. And I don't know why they had it like that. It was so fucked up it wasn't even funny. There was a long time where I stopped driving just because of that assist. So I'm glad that it's been reworked now, because it was hell before. I thought it felt a bit different. It's almost like they reverted back to the old steering assist we had, but it feels a little bit more modernized, and I don't really know how to put it. Doesn't that look fucking hideous? Just a fucking firecracker out of all of my tires with confetti and constant nitrous. Who the fuck wants to collect those? It looks fucking terrible when you drive through them. And this change camera button is so small. I was basically spamming the camera button the entire time from the very first click. And I'm sure you guys can notice just how much of a delay there was before we actually got into the first-person camera, because of how small that fucking button is. And there's no other buttons in its vicinity, so they could make the hitbox for that button much larger. They chose not to, out of the sake of, for no reason, to make things difficult. That's why, to make things difficult. It's the only reason I can find. To make things difficult. Because what other reason is there? There's no reason why you can't make the hitbox bigger. That hitbox can go all the way down halfway that speedometer. I can click the center of that speedometer on all sides, and everything is fine. That is why we just crashed, because I was clicking my speedometer, just making sure that what I was saying was true. I feel like we've gotten that lag back. What's up with that? You can often tell by the speedometer. And the lag spike hitting that was horrible. Come on. I don't want to be in cinematic. There we go. I got a good third-person view of the ugly flame that we get at a constant whenever you have NOS going. I could... Fuck, it takes so much just to change fucking cameras. That's what the nitrous is like. Except it does propel you forwards, but I feel like it propels you forwards at a much more arcadey rate and drastic rate than what it should. I don't use nitrous. Not here. I don't know why I'm saying not here. I don't use nitrous anywhere. Because I don't support nitrous. God, the frame rate is fucking horrible. CarX devs, what the fuck have you guys been doing? Why are all of these trees so close together and blossoming so fucking much? Maybe that's why our frame rate is low, because it's trying to load in every fucking tiny petal of flower on that fucking tree, on all of those trees. Like, yes, good attention to detail. Thank you. But there is a cost, and you have to fucking pay attention to it. Because if you don't, it's not worth putting it in. Because guess what? You'll put it in. It'll look pretty at a standstill. That's it. When you're driving, you're not going to give a fuck about how pretty it looks because you're lagging out your asshole. I mean, am I right or am I right? Like, it's pretty basic that, you know, it's much better to have functionality over visual aesthetic. But, I mean, hey, what do I know? I don't have any knowledge about gaming or cars or anything. Totally not. Totally. Okay. We got some EG action in. I want to get some 400Z action in because of the 1LR. Huh? Did I pass it? I must have. Yep. See, that's the thing. You look at the list, and it's another thing that confuses me. I don't know why. You look at my S2K. My S2000 has the exact visual in the list that it does outside. It looks exactly like that. I don't know why they haven't matched the others. Same with my 8.6. My 11. My 11 looks absolutely perfect to how it actually looks. But the others all have the default picture. Oh, no, my Challenger doesn't have the default. That is my actual Challenger look. My Aventador has the actual Aventador look. My Evo 2 190 has the actual Evo 2 look. Our Civic definitely isn't yellow. Our 400Z, if you didn't see it in our first episode, our 400Z definitely shouldn't be on racing tires, for one. And that's why I have so many racing and racing plus tires, because I, like, never used them. Oh, that's right. I was in an online server the last time I drove this car, and so I put on those tires solely because everybody else had them, and if I didn't put them on, I was gonna literally get outrun by everybody else, so that's why it had those tires on. My 400Z Does this look yellow to you? Anybody? Yellow? Anywhere? I see gold. The goldy bronze on my rims. Yellow? Anywhere? Anywhere? No, I didn't think so. I didn't think so. Okay, now let's try to get onto that highway. I normally don't do third person, but for all my 1LR lovers out there, I'm doing some third person just for you. A part of me thought about taking it into the tunnel for a second, but I want to get onto that highway. Does this put me on the highway? I'm so confused. I think it does. It does. Better get over. Sometimes they move really fast, and sometimes they move much slower. But I guess that is pretty realistic to legitimate traffic, isn't it? Sorry, I'm not able to hold a lane right now. I'm not used to driving here in third person. I'm also not used to this highway at all. Those downshifts were for all of my 1LR lovers. Fuck you, you bitch. You didn't signal nothing. You just fucking straight came into me. Yeah, this sounds almost as good as my 10.7 thousand RPM rotary that sits under the hood of my FC, which I didn't do a third person in that from episode 1, but I probably should have, because it would sound absolutely amazing. Why are you so far off to the left? Maybe I should have just passed him on the right. Sorry. I was a little bit off. Okay, so it has the same god-awful effect. Go back into first person. Come on. Come on. Thank you. Holy shit. Jesus Christ. There's no reason for that hitbox to be that small. None at all. None. Other than it's there to piss you off. That's it. They make it small to piss you off. There's no other reason to be found. None. That is the only explanation. God damn it, bitch. If you're gonna move over, you better move over faster. Like that guy. No, that guy was still slow. That guy was faster. I should really increase the final drive on this, that way I can actually use 5th and 6th. God damn it. Yes, that's my fault because I was looking behind me, but at the same time, I was starting to veer into the left lane because I saw them in the right lane. And they happened to also be moving out of my way into the left lane. It was an inconvenient scenario. I don't want to take that. That turns me around. Oh, so this just links onto this. Okay. Alright. Come on. Fucking change. Jesus Christ. Wanted to get it into third person before we get into the tunnel. Reduce speed a bit here. Let's get back into third, because that's going to sound really good. I know that audio cut was such horrible timing. Nothing I can do about it. I'm sorry. I'm apologizing on the developer's behalf for their fuck up. I'm sorry. I do want to switch into something else though. So we've been in this for a tad bit, and we've got some good pulls in it. Our second tunnel, that was good. The first tunnel was good too, but it had the audio glitch where it cut out for a moment, and it kind of ruined the vibe a little bit. So I did a second pull for all of my 1LR lovers out there. And that second pull was really good. It was solid the whole way through. I was impressed that we didn't get a audio glitch. You know, that's sad. That's sad to say. That I was impressed that it didn't glitch. Like, to be impressed about something not fucking up is sad, because it shouldn't be fucking up to begin with. Shit, CarX devs, you really better get on it, because it's not looking too hot for you right now. It really isn't. Good job on the graphics. Good job on the sounds. Fuck your events. And, fix your fucking audio glitch. This audio glitch has been in the game for more than 2 years. I'm not shitting you. More than 2 years ago, I was out at the cabin and playing this game, and it had this exact audio glitch that it still has to this day, where every now and again, the audio fully cuts for a moment and then comes back. I don't know why. I don't know what causes it. I just know it happens. And I know it's not just me that it happens to, because at that time, I had a friend who played the game. He had the same glitch. And then just last year, I had another friend who played the game, and he had the same glitch. All of us have different devices. There's no explaining that other than it's something on the game side, right? So it is undoubtedly something on the game side. And I don't know what it is. I don't know how to fix it. That is entirely the devs' problem to deal with. So they can figure that out. Also, by the way, to anybody who's at least watched this far. Comments for what cars you would like to see me use next are more than welcome. I 100% take vehicle requests in so long as it's something that I can do. And if there's something in the dealership that would be nice to be seen built, I will take note of it and add it to my build list, which is quite long. It very well may already be on my build list, depending on what it is, such as the Miata or the Eclipse are both on my build list. The EK9 is not on my build list, but I still need it. Because, well, I don't want to spoil that. Then, yeah, no, I'm not going to spoil that, because that's going to be something really cool to see. So I'm not going to spoil that, but I will say that I do need an EK9 to do stuff. I'm just going to leave it at that, to do stuff. That way I don't give away too much. We're going to hop into our Corvette. And I am liking the highway vibes. Quite a lot. Actually, that's a really nice new circuit that I can run out of that. I love the headlights in this. That's something I cannot ignore. I do have to give the CarX devs credit on visuals. They are very, very good with graphics. They're pretty decent overall, pretty decent at doing body kits and different types of visual aesthetic that you can do to your vehicle. So I do have to give credit there. They're really good with graphics and vehicle design. And they're pretty good at keeping the backfire realistic. No, this is not an LS. This is an M177 twin turbo that I pulled out of an Aston Martin Vantage. I feel like they've improved the sound from interior to exterior. The differentiation between interior and exterior sound. I feel like they improved on both sides. And also improved on the differentiation between the two. Great with sounds, great with graphics, pretty good with vehicle physics for feeling. I should say more than pretty good. They're really good at vehicle physics for feeling. But they do have their own flaws, just like every other creator. They're not perfect, and I don't expect them to be perfect, but I do expect them to put in more effort than they do and have a little bit of care for the fucking players, instead of just solely making it money-based. God damn it, I didn't get over soon enough. This is why it would be nice to have slider or analog gas and brake. Wouldn't have to be constantly feathering like that in situations that you are in a long corner. There are also many other situations where you might have to feather, where it would be much more beneficial to have slider or analog gas and brake. It would provide much more control over your vehicle, for sure. Holy shit. That Mazda 5 putting on its signal at last moment. By the way, Mazda 5 is one of my dream cars. Specifically the 3rd gen, which is the one we just saw that almost turned into us at that last moment. I intend on getting one real world very, very shortly. You can get those with a 6-speed manual. Did you know? Yeah, that's right. You can get a Mazda 5 minivan with a 6-speed manual. Doesn't that sound badass? A lot of you probably went no, but I think it is. Because I love minivans and I love manuals. Because I have experience with both. I love manuals because I find it's more enjoyable. And the other part to that is it has... it gives the operator more control over the vehicle. I don't care who tries to argue that, that's just a base fact. Having a clutch and a proper manual, an H pattern. I shouldn't necessarily say H pattern because not all manuals have H pattern necessarily, I don't think. I'm pretty sure there are some out there that don't have H pattern shifters. I swear to God. No, we're looking at that. Yeah, even that guy stopped. I feel like it grabbed me when it shouldn't have. Because I can go a full car length. Hold on. I can go a full car length into that. Actually, let's properly line this bitch up. And then go back into first person. And then anybody who wants to compare can compare with full accuracy as to how much space we should have. Because I did not think I was this far over. I don't think I was. I think I was a little bit off to the left more. Like a tire length, maybe. Tire width, sorry. You. Fix yourself. Problem solved. It looks so good. I love C6 Corvettes. C6 is my favorite Corvette. Sorry, I looked away. That's it. Mazda 5, 3rd gen. I would actually want one like that in either dark silver or all black. They're absolutely wonderful cars. Vans. See if there's any parked up here. That was funny. Whoops. What's the white one spinning out for? That's not the one I sideswiped, is it? I don't think it is. Grab this catch box since it's here. Oh, perfect. Perfect. Here's the dark silver one I like. I don't need to go into reverse. Pitch, shift up. Drone mode. Right here. I would love to have this as a drivable vehicle because I intend on getting one real life very, very shortly. Very shortly. These things are absolutely awesome. 1, it's a minivan. 2, it's a manual. And 3, it's basically a Mazda 3, but as a minivan. Look at the front. Compare the front of that to a Mazda 3. it's not that far off. You could compare it to the Mazda Demio, and it's not that far off. Almost, Mazdas tend to have a very similar look to other Mazdas. I love that about Mazda, though. This Mazda is one of my dream cars. My other dream car is a drivable, and that is the RX-8. And then I have another dream car beyond that, which is a Pontiac Sunfire GT, specifically 04 or older. I know I have very, very interesting taste. And I'm sure a few of you are like, what kind of dream cars are those? And it's like, the attainable ones. And so then your question might be, what unattainable dream cars do you have? Too many to list. And then the next question beyond that would be, if you had to pick one, and the answer is, I couldn't. I couldn't. That's something I would have to debate. So let's see if this section running from here to the ports also got updated. It feels like it did. I don't think we had that lane on the... No, did we? I don't remember. I'd have to go look back at one of the other older videos I have. It definitely does feel like it's been revamped. It has. From here onward, it has for sure. It feels like we're a total of 5 or 6 cars wide now. Before we were at 4 cars wide, 4.5 at most. Much more space. God damn. And by the way, this Corvette is nothing special. I literally dropped the M177 into it. I tuned the transmission. And that's about it, I'm pretty sure. Come on. You can do it. 280. Let's go. We're not shifting to 5th till you hit 280. There it is. Light skim, we're okay. We're almost out of gas. I say that and the fuel light comes on. Wow. That Corvette is something else. I say that while I'm still in it. This Corvette is something else. But that's what happens when you do custom work. 95% of the time. Custom work will often make a car quite unique and often quite capable. Shit, I shouldn't have put that on its side. That's okay. Okay. So now we're going to switch into something else, because we've had a bit of playtime with that. Okay, so I've done EG6, 400C, C6. So I've done 2 JDMs and 1 American, 2 rear-wheel drives, 1 front-wheel drive. We'll do another American. Where is it? Except we'll do an all-wheel drive American car. Sorry, actually, let me rephrase this. Italian muscle car. I know I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for that comment. From any Dodge person out there, or Hellcat person, Scat Pack person, anybody who likes the new Charger Challenger, you're going to hate me, but I'm sorry, it is an Italian muscle car. Fiat bought out Dodge, Mopar, Jeep, Chrysler. Dodge Jeep Chrysler Group back in 2015. It was solidified. That's why in 2014? It was either 2014 or 2015. Either way, this body style, this was made by Fiat. Yes, I am not joking you. This was made by Fiat. How do I know? Because Dodge literally did not have any authority at all over the company during the time that this car was produced. This body style came out in 2015. Since I have a second phone quick and handy, I'm going to quickly Google when Fiat bought Dodge, because that will summarize to Dodge, Jeep, Chrysler. So Fiat first started buying out Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep Group in 2009, and then Fiat slowly, over the years, bought out the entire Dodge, Jeep, Chrysler Group by 2014. This body style of Charger came out in 2015. So absolutely every single Hellcat out there is technically an Italian muscle car. So technically, the Dodge Demon that set the best factory 0 to 60 time so many years ago, technically that's not an American muscle car. Not even technically. Literally, that is not an American muscle car. It is an Italian muscle car under American labels. But nobody likes to do research. Everybody likes to go off of hearsay and opinion, and that's how we end up with things like thinking that the Dodge Charger Challenger is American muscle car when it's actually an Italian muscle car. That's how we ended up with people thinking that Bugatti is French. Any of you who actually think that Bugatti is French, I have an earful for you. Bugatti was founded, not just owned, but founded by Volkswagen. Bugatti's entire lineage is German, not French. So, whoever came up with that idea of, oh, Bugatti is French, and spread that around like a hot fire to the point almost everybody believed it, and a lot of people still today do believe it. No, Bugatti was founded and owned by Volkswagen. Volkswagen is not French in the slightest. It's very, very German. Das Auto, okay? That is not French. Das Auto. Not French. Oui, oui? Okay. Comprende. I'm sorry. But no, that is true. And if you're wondering why my charger sounds so funny, it's because I dropped in the V8 twin turbo from a McLaren 720S. And if you're wondering why our gearing is so weird, it's because I pulled this all-wheel drive 6-speed transmission out of a Carrera 4S, specifically my Carrera 4S. I really should increase the final drive on this. Why don't we go do that? There's a shop just at the roundabout up here that we can do that. There's a visual shop and a mechanical shop. That's fucking scary. Oh, terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. See, you can pass on the right. It's really fucking tight, but you can. And I have video, maybe? No, I do have video of me passing on the left. I don't remember what car. That's first gear flat out. Very, very long gears in this. Very long. This 720S engine is nowhere near its peak conditions. In fact, it is much lower on power than it should even be from factory. But again, the CarX devs don't care about how we feel. They care about us paying them. You have to put in some serious complaints and get that shit spreaded around in order for them to actually fix shit. And that's kind of sad. Not even kind of, it is sad. It's really sad. The more sad thing is, I feel like I'm like one of the very few people who notices this shit. And I speak about it, and everybody agrees, but then nobody else notices until I speak about it. And it's like, am I the only one with eyeballs here? Or am I just on one? You know? So, yeah, a 6-speed from our P91, which is based off of a 2007 to 2011 Carrera 4S. Mine I've converted to the Turbo S body with fixed spoiler. Actually, it's probably more similar to the GT2 body, but I believe they actually shared the same body. I would have to look up that, but yeah, let's raise that. And in episode 1, I mentioned how my Challenger has the SRT8/SRT10 engine. And right after I mentioned that, I said there's nothing I can do about it, it's just how it came. Well, that's not fully true. There is something I could do about it, I just would prefer not to. I like the engine. I know it's not the one that's supposed to be in there, but I can't put the actual matching one in there, and that's what I meant when I said there's nothing I can do, is that I couldn't put in the actual authentic engine that it should be running. However, the engine that's in it is a superb, very good engine, and I quite like that engine, so it's staying. I fucking got back on it too early. Got back on it and swerved back left too early. Ooh, I should flip this bitch. Oh, we'll do the loopity-loop fuckery over here that I'm partly confused about, partly not confused about. It makes sense when you're driving it, but it doesn't make sense on the map type shit. My bad. I was a little too tight there. I'm sorry. I'm not used to driving in third person, but this is for engine audio. For everybody who likes the McLaren 720S engine, that's exactly what this is. Except it's running through a Dodge Charger. And I missed the other turn. Whoops. I am very surprised that my rearview mirror stayed facing backwards for that entire reversing. So it links into the Togue and up top, which is awesome. These gears are still long, but this engine needs a lot of work. It's literally, I haven't touched this motor in terms of adding anything to it. It came the way it is in the 720S. I pulled it out of the 720S, dropped it into here, sold my 720S, because I don't like running two of the exact same engine. And I wasn't going to, I didn't have anything else to put into the 720S, and I didn't really care about the chassis. Damn it, I did it again. Damn. God, that sounds amazing from in here. They've definitely updated the sounds. They haven't updated improving the frame rates though, unfortunately. I am going to unplug my phone, and hopefully that lifts everything up a little bit. Which it appears that it actually did help slightly. Back to third person because we're about to hit that tunnel. And here's another thing. Look at all the room we have on this screen, but I don't have turn signal. Really? Like, you could so easily fit turn signals and hazards under either the tachometer, to the left of the tachometer, underneath the boost gauge, underneath the map where it says mounting area, right underneath there, to the right of the map, right above my handbrake, you could have put it in there. But no, they didn't. They were just like, we're going to give the AIs turn signals and leave the regular people's vehicles to have none. Thanks, Deb. Appreciate it. So when we're in a multiplayer server, we don't know when we're turning. You can't put your signal on and expect the guy behind you to know that you're about to slow down for a corner. Pretty disadvantageous. Often leads to you being rear-ended. So great in the multiplayer server, isn't it? Yeah. Sounds just wonderful to get rear-ended solely because the person behind you didn't know that you were about to take a turn. Or that you were about to slow down to take a turn. audio does. So many things I wish we had options for. Like, why can't I turn off the sounds, this fucking trophy thing you've made? Wait. You bitch. You didn't signal at all, and you just came over and sideswiped the fuck out of me, and there was nothing I could do about it because I couldn't get further right because it was braking, and my momentum would not allow me to get further right if I wanted to. If I'd tried to go even further right and just turned into it harder, I probably would have started into a slide, seeing as I'd shifted all of the weight off of my rear tires. Like that. A light slide, but still a slide. I imagine we've gone on for a good while now. I looked away for a moment. I looked at my other device. Which is why you shouldn't look at devices when you're driving. Not in real world, at least. In a video game, you probably still shouldn't because it entices the habit to start in real world. But so long as you can control between real world and in-game, you're fine. I don't have a problem with that. Real world, I won't look at my phone. I won't take my eyes off the road. Real world. I don't know why. I struggle saying real world sometimes. See, I would never be able to drive like this in CPM. And I'm saying that because, believe it or not, I am driving with one hand right now. And I would not be able to do that in CPM. Not even with an automatic. Because the steering sensitivity is so hypersensitive. Like, I could briefly, if I was going in straight line, which, yeah, we are going pretty straight line right now. But if we have to take a corner, I can take a corner. We won't be straight line when we get to the end of this road and go into the loop-de-loop thingy to get onto the highway. Technically this already puts us on the highway, but I mean the other highway. And technically all roads are connected, so the other highway is this highway, but the other highway. I don't need to downshift, it'll be okay. There we go, I locked the bottom right corner of my phone in basically into my thumb. I did use my left hand for that. I used my left middle finger to be specific. But when you only need to use your left hand to brake and down and upshift, you can cruise highways You can cruise almost anywhere. The less shifting you have to do, the better. Because, well, you can only downshift with one hand. We're almost out of gas? I guess we have been ripping on it, haven't we? Oh, I thought that was opening up. It's been taking me a while to get used to that bit. Damn, talk about cutting over a bit aggressive. Oh, and now you use your signal. What, do you think I'm a cop just because I'm in the Charger? No. How scary would that be, though? To have this as an undercover police car pull up behind you. I just felt like going around him. Put it into 6th and reduced RPM to save fuel. That fuel station's down there. How do I get down there from here? This way. Maybe. My bad. I didn't mean to pit you, bro. That bitch was solid. What? The fuck was that about, CarX devs? You got some explaining to do. Why is this soccer ball hard as a fucking rock? And why didn't it just fucking bounce out of my way when I hit it the first time? Oh, and I missed. If I keep playing around with that soccer ball, I'm gonna run out of fucking fuel. Whoops. Paul Walker moment. Sorry, Brian O'Connor moment, not Paul Walker. Paul Walker played the character, though. Anybody who knows the first Fast and the Furious movie knows what I mean. Is it the first or was it the second? The one with the green Eclipse and the red RX-7 DeBusta. Okay. One more. We'll do one more. Which one more do we want to do? We've done American and Japanese, so we should do something German. German/European. I'm thinking our F-82 is probably going to be our best bet for that. It is. I could do the Golf, and that's also German, but the Golf is powered by a rotary, which is Japanese, JDM. Take a while to get used to this again. Holy shit, why is everything so dark? Excuse me, devs. That is not window tint, and that's not how that works. Fucking change back into first person, damn it. Somewhere, I didn't know this was still a fucking glitch. Somewhere along the lines here, our vision will brighten because it shouldn't be dark like this in the first place. It is literally like it's fucking 1 a.m. Like, our visibility should not be this low. Time didn't instant change between us switching cars. I promise you that. Because when you look outside, everything gets bright. And it's not just the interior of this car, I also promise you that. This has happened with the Civic before. That was before they removed the split pedal. I was gonna take it, but I didn't get over in time. So I had to back out of it. You guys are like almost straddling both lanes. Chill. And there it is! Our fucking window tint vanished. Thankfully. And to prove it wasn't just that area and a random glitch, we're gonna go back that way. The reason this has an S65 is because the red line, the yellow line on the dash starts at 8,500 RPM. And I was not able to get the factory motor that came in it, which I'm not sure if actually was an S55 or not. The motor that came in it was basically restricted to 7,000 RPM. So it was like, okay, we need to put in something to get those gauges reading properly. Which, another thing, it would be really nice to be able to adjust those gauges themselves and move the red line like you would be able to IRL by purchasing a new tachometer. Or modifying a tachometer. I forgot that we were going this way. I thought we were going the opposite direction. It's gonna take me a while to get used to this new layout of highway. Accelerates so easy. It is very, very easy to get up to speed and overspeed. It's also easy to lose track of how fast you're going. Ouch. Good. We made it. Barely. Took out a lot of those orange cones, but the tall, skinny ones. That just fell. I need to pick that up. There we go. Coming in too hot. Yep, I knew it. Come on, get off that. Yeah, that's gonna take me some time to get used to. See how it snapped back left like that almost immediately? That's how the old steer assist was, except it was way more aggressive. And that wasn't me snapping back left, I was actually still turned to the right with my phone. Which is why it would be nice to be able to at least turn it off if we're not able to adjust it. Damn it. Did we enter that at 200 plus? Because we shouldn't have slid out if we didn't. Because you can take that corner at 220. Or at least you used to be able to. 220 is the maximum speed for that corner. And I believe that's on the outside line too. It's very possible that we could have been going over that with how easy it is to lose track of your speed in this car. Last time I mentioned how, in episode 1, I mentioned how this was 800 horsepower. I actually built this engine in the E60. This S65 is from an E60. I built it in the E60. I drove the E60. Eventually I got fed up with the E60 because of how lacking in agility it was. And my M4 needed... Well, I didn't even have the M4 at that time. I just simply pulled the motor and bought an M4 and dropped it in. And that was that. Yeah, we're almost 850 horsepower. Ow. Real good RPM. And I could turn it up so easily. That alone goes to 870. Let's see, what could it get turned up to? God damn it, why is it so hard to grab these? It could be turned up to 896, so it couldn't be turned up too much further than it is. I see no point. I just can go like that, and that's going to reset that. I see no point in raising its power any further than it is. I'm not gonna fight for 50 horsepower. It's plenty powerful. It lacks modifications and everywhere else except for the tires, engine, and transmission. Stock. I changed this onto a sport because the factory one runs -3 camber. Now you might be wondering, why would you add more camber? And the reason isn't that I wanted to add more camber. The reason is that from factory, the back, as you can see, is at -4. Now, the more camber you have, the less of your tire's face is making contact to the ground. So with this setup of -3 in the front and -4 in the back, the rear tires are actually making less contact to the ground than the front ones are. Now, I want you to imagine what that would do for a rear-wheel drive vehicle. I think it's pretty easy to assume that that would make the car more slidey in the tail, because it would. So, to balance out the camber, instead of paying 30K here and 6K here to tune it to the point I wanted it to be, I simply went for the cheaper option at the time and balanced the front to be even with the rear. That way it wasn't unbalanced between front and rear contact surfaces. Because your contact point to ground is very crucial to vehicle performance. Tires, it is on a custom 325 setup all around, but yeah, when you have 848 horsepower and a rear-wheel drive 6-speed, that's kind of not really necessary, but it's extremely beneficial. It helps maintain traction. Definitely. Damn, we have been going for a hot minute. So I think we should wrap up. I think we'll switch to the RX-8 and wrap up at this house, because what we will do next time we come in is some Togue stuff. So next time we will come along this road right here and follow it and go past that tower there and up the Togue all the way up this way. We will expand down there after. We will first run end to end, going all the way down here, following the left side, which I know this gets confusing, but that tunnel pops out there, and then you hook on the left, come around here, up here again, and back around. We will go down that road. I do have a Togue circuit for that, that we will see eventually. Because this part here, I run this direction going up, and then I come down on the left side here, and I loop back right over here, and I come down and follow, and you go through the tunnel there, you come back out, and it puts you around to the lake side here, and I go on that little bridge over the lake, and then back into the Togue again, and it loops all the way back around up to the road here, and then you can repeat. And that's how I run that Togue circuit. But so the first thing I'll do is be coming all the way down here and running all the way on the left side, on the far left, all the way. And then we'll come all the way down to our house over here. So we'll go house to house, point to point, from Lighthouse Haven to the house we are at, which is Pinecone Meadows, and that is the Togue we'll be running for that. So next time we will get into Togue stuff and do some Togue stuff, because we've been doing some highway stuff. We've gotten in a single lap on the track, so we will get more track stuff in. I promise that much. We'll rock probably our FC at the track, because the FC when I first built was built to be my track car. Well, not necessarily a track car, but it was built to be my performance race car. So, and it's built to be a very balanced performance race car. I could rock it on the Togue if I wanted to, but I could rally it if I wanted to. That FC is really, really, what's the word? Versatile. So when we get back in, we'll do some Togue stuff. But until then, we will just chill. So when we come back, Togue stuff is what we'll do. We'll start off in the RX-8 and get into other cars going forwards. But that's where we'll wrap up for now. I hope everyone enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one.